You have got to be the laziest producer ever. Hi, Cleo. What a lazy producer you are. Hi, welcome to the Keto Crafter. My name is Lori and I have been following a ketogenic lifestyle since November of 2019. I've lost 115 pounds so far. I am still in my journey. I hope to reach a goal weight of between 125 and 150, hopefully by the end of this year. Today I wanted to talk about a little bit about just different things like getting started, maybe possibly feeling overwhelmed at times, and overall how to keep just positivity around you, because I think that that's very important. When I first started in November of 2019, like I said before in my introduction video, I came across a video by Steve from Serious Keto about chaffles, and that's what started my journey into keto, and eventually ketovore, carnivore. It's just my thing. I don't really like to put just a restriction on it, because sometimes I do have vegetables, sometimes I don't. Usually it's like 1 or 2 servings a week, but I like to think of myself as more of a ketovore. But since a lot of people are either keto or carnivore or low carb, and you don't want to put yourself into a category, but you sort of kind of have to sometimes. It depends on who you're talking to. When I first started keto, when I really got into keto, I found most of the information that I was seeing online to be extremely overwhelming, particularly about tracking macros. Now, in the beginning, I tracked everything. I tracked everything that I ate and drank, and I would put it into Carb Manager on my phone. At the time, I didn't realize that Carb Manager can be sort of inaccurate. Chronometer is best, but it's a little bit harder to use when you're first starting out, especially if you don't have the paid version. The paid version of Chronometer is ultimately the best thing you can get if you want to track everything. For me, I had a free trial, so to speak, with Chronometer, and it wasn't, I felt from my own personal journey, and this is just my personal experience, I didn't feel like putting out that money every year for the paid membership was something that I needed to do in order to stay, to keep me on path, on track. I'm the type of person that if I want to do something bad enough, I'll do it. And this is something that, it started out I just wanted to lose weight. I did not realize that it would help with my inflammation and help my health overall. That being said, I want to talk about cheating. Well, to go back, I just want to make sure that everybody understands that you don't have to track everything. You don't have to track your macros. It's basically common sense. If you eat meat, eggs, a little bit of dairy like cheese, or like a tablespoon of heavy cream in your coffee every once in a while, and butter, you're not going to need to track so much, except for the fact that, you want to make sure you're getting enough protein. You want to make sure that you're getting, at least the minimal amount of fat in order for your body to operate to its best ability. But tracking macros can be somewhat confusing, especially in the beginning, because there are different macros according to which person you ask. Now, Two Crazy Ketos and even Dr. Berry, they recommend Maria Emmerich's macro calculator, and I do feel that is a good one. That's the one that I eventually got to. And also twocrazyketos.com has one that is more of the 1-to-1 protein ratio that I seem to be doing better at, provided that I can get my protein in each day, which is kind of a struggle. But you know, there's no progress without, you know, attempting it. That my whole everything is attempted. There's a quote in the movie Shawshank Redemption that I love, and I really apply it anytime that I'm like, feel like, you know, am I doing the right thing? It's like, get busy living or get busy dying. And before keto, I was getting pretty busy dying because I was sick all the time. I kept infections because I wasn't giving my body what it needed. I was giving my body what I thought it wanted, and that's not what it wanted. My body wanted nutritious foods that were good for me, that would help my body operate like it should, and ultimately like I really wanted to, but you know, just didn't know any better at the time. Well, I knew better, but you know, when you're depressed because you're sick and tired all the time, you tend to not grasp what your body truly needs. So mental health is just as important as physical health, and I feel like that when you can make your body physically healthy, your mental health almost automatically just kicks in. I know that I don't have the problems with severe depression like I used to before keto. My anxiety is somewhat better. I mean, I still have to take my Zoloft, and that's another thing. There's nothing wrong with needing to take medication on keto. Some people are always going to have to take some sort of medication, and that's okay. Don't let what somebody else, you know, says, oh, well, you know, the ultimate goal is to get off of medication. Well, obviously, but every once in a while, you know, somebody's going to come along that has chronic health issues, brought on probably by years and years of not eating the proper human diet and not taking care of ourselves. And, you know, sometimes the damage is irreversible. I know in my case, some of the damage that I did to my body by eating bad food, which led to infections, which led to, I know there was a couple years where I was on antibiotics non-stop. I did not have a break at all. And I'm not talking about, you know, just mild antibiotics. I'm talking like 300 milligrams of an antibiotic 3 times a day, sometimes 4. And then steroids to counteract the allergic reaction that some of the antibiotics would eventually cause. I was abusing my system because I was listening to doctors that did not care enough about their patients to do proper research into saying, and also weren't firm enough. And I maybe didn't know how to word it in a way that would get through my thick skull at the time. Diet does have a lot to do with health issues. It may not be what you want to hear, but the fact is it is true. It is true. I know a lot of people, they'll say that, you know, well, being overweight doesn't give you hidradenitis. No, but it sure does make it a lot worse. Put it this way. Several weeks ago, me and my family went to Universal Studios. While I was down there, the first couple of days I stayed on track. I did not veer off. I ate keto, had some amazing food, and then enters the churros. The mind was strong, but the spirit was weak. It was weak. I gave in. I did. I'm not gonna lie. And I had 2 churros while I was down there, and they tasted really, really good. They were great, but here's the kicker. Now, I guess and I don't know what normal is, but say the average person on keto that doesn't have chronic health problems, any autoimmune or autoinflammatory diseases, and they're just doing keto to lose weight, you know. Now, if they eat something off plan, they might experience a little bit of bloating, you know, nothing, you know, just the next day or two, and then they'll be fine. They'll, you know, go back into ketosis, and boom, they're all fine. When somebody has hidradenitis suppurativa, and you have been working so hard to rid your body of inflammation, and you're no longer feeding the inflammation by eating sugar and wheat and just carbs, because inflammation loves that stuff. That's like candy to inflammation, is sugar, breads, pastas, grains. So when you don't have that stuff for so long, and then all of a sudden you eat a churro or two in a matter of like, 2 days. And then sometimes you veer off and you have maybe some potatoes because you're like, well, you know, I'm on vacation, it'll be fine. No, it was not fine. I mean, I did fine the first part of the week while I was down there. Did great. The first day I didn't rent a scooter. I walked all day, did like 8 miles of walking that first day. And I ultimately walked about 4 miles every day, simply because of where our room was at the hotel, to having to walk down to the lobby for temperature checks and to get coffee, and to go out to the buses, and then from the buses, once you got to City Walk, to go up and go through security and then walk to either park. About 4 miles every day. Just walking, and that was, you know, before I had rented the scooter, because you can't necessarily rent the scooters at the hotel, and they don't have scooters at City Walk. I think they do have wheelchairs, but they don't have scooters. But so I would wait till I got into the parks, like Tuesday through Thursday, you know, to get the scooter. But the fact is Monday I walked around all day long. And it felt good to be able to do that. And this time last year, even though I was on keto, I wouldn't have been able to do that this time last year even. So just in that short time frame, relatively, you know, I've made such, you know, wonderful progress. I'm extremely proud of myself, and, you know, but the fact is that when you cheat, it's not just, you know, when you have hidradenitis or fibromyalgia or Crohn's or MS or lupus or any of those conditions, when you cheat or go off plan or whatever you want to call it, I don't like to use the cheat thing, because you're making a conscious decision to have something that you know you're not supposed to have. When it's like cheat, you know, I feel like, you know, maybe that's like an accident, you know, like you've ate something that you didn't know what all was in it, and, you know, you've consumed it, and boom, inflammation. But I am still, even several weeks after, almost a full month after, as a matter of fact, I am still experiencing inflammation. I do have a current hidradenitis flare that is giving me some problems, and I do believe that I have, well, as a matter of fact, I know, because I had blood work this morning, I do know that my neutrophils are elevated, which means I have an infection. So Tuesday, I'll be on antibiotics for the first time in 2 years, which is amazing. That's still progress, and I'm just going to make a point to stick to the plan and get myself back into remission where I'm not having any active hidradenitis, and so I'm feeling better, and to get back on track. I am eating better since I've gotten home. I'm back on track. I'm back in ketosis, I'm sure. I don't measure my ketones. I have a Keto Mojo, and honestly, I wish I'd never bought it, because I never use it. And the reason I never use it is because the more you use it, the more you realize, eventually I'm going to have to buy new test strips, and they're not cheap. I would rather save my money and buy Keto Chow or buy Perfect Keto Collagen or their bars, because their bars are the perfect snack for anybody that likes a little something sweet. I'd rather buy steak. I'd rather buy the stuff and make bacon, you know, and you can't do that when you're spending all your money on what I feel, unless you're a diabetic. I feel like, you know, having a Keto Mojo or any of those, I feel like it's just, money that I've wasted. I feel the same way about a Fitbit. I've tried to wear it. I don't like anything around my wrist. You will notice that I generally do not wear jewelry. I may wear a bracelet every so often. I might wear a necklace so often, but I generally don't like bracelets because I feel like I'm confined. I have my quirks. But the thing is that I feel like, in the beginning you're thinking, oh, well, I need this, I need that. No, not necessarily. A lot of people, especially like my friend Stephanie and my friend Renee and Shelly and Heath and Joe and Rachel and Chris and Miriam, they're always talking about find your why. Why are you starting this way of eating? Why are you doing this? Why do you want to get better? I mean, for me, it's because I want to see my children and grandchildren grow up. I want to be able to enjoy life because I wasted so many years letting my disease consume me. And if you let one disease consume you, you'll let all of them. And because I let my HS, hidradenitis, I let it consume me, then once I started having problems with depression and anxiety, I let that consume me too. And then when the fibromyalgia started acting up or progressing to, getting more severe, I let that consume me. So now I let keto and carnivore consume me. I let the proper human diet consume me because ultimately my goal is to be as healthy as possible. Now, if that's a healthy 220 pounds, then that's okay. The ultimate goal is health. It's health optimization. Keto is not a weight loss diet. Carnivore is not a weight loss diet. It is a health optimization way of eating. It's a lifestyle change. So you don't need a lot of fancy products. You don't need exogenous ketones. Unless you have like some sort of a condition that exogenous ketones could help, or if you want a boost of energy, that you're not getting enough B12 anyway, then yeah, you don't have to have keto chow. It helps considerably. You don't have to have perfect keto collagen. It helps. I mean, you can get collagen from your food. You don't have to have a Fitbit, but hey, if keeping up with steps helps you, if it helps keep you motivated, then that's what you need to stick to. If stepping on the scale every day keeps you motivated, then by all means do it. But don't feel like you have to do what anybody else does, because this is your body and God made us all individual. We're all unique in our own way. Yes, we share a lot of similarities, but how amazing is it that we can be our own individual selves, and what works for one person may not work for you, and what works for me might work for you, it may not. The important thing is finding your path and using it to the best of your ability. And that means constantly making adjustments, tweak a little bit here and there to make it fit every single day, because tomorrow could be completely different from today. Your body may need more protein tomorrow than it does today. Your body may need more zinc tomorrow than it does today. Your body may need more calcium next week than it does today. The point is that think of yourself like a painting, and think of yourself as a perfectionist artist. So you're constantly tweaking this painting until it is as close to perfect as possible. And you are a work of art. Every single person on this planet is a work of art. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what color or how expensive your car is. I don't care where you live. I don't care who you're related to. I don't care whether you believe in God or not. Hey, the fact is you are important. You matter. Your health matters. And what's important is that now is the time that each person should take an interest in their own well-being, both physically, emotionally, spiritually, no matter what that path is. But it is achievable if you put your mind to it. Nobody said it was going to be easy, but there are things that make it easy, like Two Crazy Ketos. If I wasn't in that group on Facebook, I would have gave up a long time ago. If I didn't have such amazing friends like Joe and Rachel, Chris and Miriam, Stephanie and Jimmy, Shelly and Heath, Renee, Shauna, I can go on. You know, that there are so many wonderful people in that group that they care, you know, and there's other groups too. I'm a little biased. I think that Two Crazy Ketos Facebook group is one of the best because everybody that I love is in there. But every day brings new challenges. How you deal with those challenges is up to you. So ultimately, you really have to just, you know, ask yourself every single day, okay, why am I going to stay on track today? Why have I made the decision to do this? What's stopping me? And I'll be honest with you, if you're saying, oh, well, I'll start keto on Monday, or I'll start it at the first of the month, you know what? If you got to wait until the end, you're never going to succeed. I'm going to be honest with you. I know, because I'm one of those people that if I have to say, oh, because, hey, I started the day after Thanksgiving. The day after Thanksgiving, when all the leftovers are around. I started the day after Thanksgiving in 2019. And yes, I did go off keto for about 2 weeks in December for Christmas holidays. Instantly regretted that, let me tell you. But then jumped back on track, and last year I did not come off keto for Thanksgiving or Christmas at all. I did have a couple of things that were probably not the best for me, but the fact is that, again, it goes back to your why. It goes back to, what do I hope to accomplish? And you can achieve it. You've just got to put forth the effort. Yes, willpower is involved, but if you want it bad enough, you will do it. It's that simple. And all I got to say is, stop making excuses and start making progress. It's something that everybody can do. Progress. Let's see those ribs. Oh my goodness. Those look good enough to eat. Ooh. I don't know what y'all are eating. I'm having ribs.
I am too. If anybody needs to see it, I have two. You got one, don't do 10 minutes.